Hey, and welcome. Now, over the last few days, there's been a couple of posts, whether that's the algorithm because I've commented on them or what, that have spoken about people doing the carnivore diet or a vegan diet. Now, we're talking about two complete polar opposites, where the carnivore diet is where people will pretty much just eat meat. And it's basically a progression where we have the paleo style diet through to the ketogenic diet, through to, okay, I really don't like my vegetables, so I'm going to discriminate against them, chuck them off the plate, and just eat very fatty meat. Then we have, on the other complete opposite of the spectrum, a vegan diet or a plant based diet where we're really only going to focus on eating just that, the diet that is based around plants in all different forms. Now, the trouble is that neither of these diets may be the best thing for you right now where you are at if your goal is to improve your health. In fact, both of them could work, but both of these diets, if you're the sort of client I work with that as an entrepreneur, really high driven and wanting to be that high performer, chances are, if you do either of these diets, that your health might go down, even worse than where it is now. So if you're someone that is sleeping and waking up 2-3 times during the night, or waking between the hours of 3 and 5 and just totally wired, not able to get to sleep, and you're kidding yourself saying, this is my most productive time, but later on during the day, your energy sags and you have to have that coffee as a pick-me-up. If you're that sort of person, you find some brain fog, all these different things going on, then chances are these diets might make you worse. Let's look a little bit deeper. So the carnivore diet, as we said, is pretty much all meat, animal foods. And some people are including things like milk, things like yogurt, things like cheese in there. Some people are so strict with it that they're only literally having a bigger steak 3 times a day, that sort of thing. Now, it is tipped as an anti-inflammatory diet. In fact, both of these diets are tipped as anti-inflammatory. And in fact, there's not much research, to be honest, that shows that this carnivore diet is anti-inflammatory. As of last year, I couldn't find a single peer-reviewed or a single research article which didn't have a cross influence due to funding. Now, read into that what you want. So there may be some benefits to this, but we are not seeing the specific science. We're seeing loads of articles talking about it, but specific science and papers are not necessarily showing the benefits of this. Now, one of the benefits is it going to be easy, very easy to get into a caloric deficit, a calorie deficit, eating less than what you're actually moving each day. You're in this deficit. Moving more, eating less, whatever you want to call it. If you eat less than you're moving, in theory, you're going to be in a calorie deficit. If your body works well, we're low in inflammation, then you should be able to lose weight. But some people are not losing weight even with this. So what else is going on? Well, unfortunately, eating meat on its own is going to have a low nutrient diversity. Your gut isn't going to be as healthy. Maybe it lowers inflammation, but long term, the nutrients in your gut are going to be very low on diversity. And when it comes to being healthy, you really need good gut health and have a good diversity within your gut microbiome, which means fibers, different types of fibers, need to be in there with different bacteria in order to allow you to be healthy. Unfortunately, just eating steak isn't really going to do that. And as a result, there's going to be things like potentially constipation. There's going to be things like, if you are already inflamed, rather than being anti-inflammatory, it could make you worse. So I've seen people that have been trying to lower their blood glucose levels. You've heard me speak about blood glucose over and over again. Actually tried the carnivore diet and their blood glucose levels have gone up, which is showing there's more stress going on in the body. And we'll get to that in a minute. Now, onto that plant-based or vegan diet, slight differentiation there, but the vegan diet is where no animal products are to being consumed. Now, this is where we have loads of vegetables, loads of fruits and all these different things. So it's very, very high in nutrients. But there's a big but here. If you do not manage your blood glucose levels very well, what is having a diet very high in carbohydrates going to do? Blood glucose, sugar, carbohydrates, sugar. These are the things where we would need to look at how we manage our blood glucose first. Now, personally, I would go on the vegan diet over the carnivore diet, but as long as I had a choice, I would just blend both of them in together and not be so extreme. Now, when it actually comes to managing our blood glucose, we have to also be able to go through a thing called methylation. Now, methylation is going to take inactive things, switch them and make them active, and then expel them out of the body. Now, the problem is that we look at saying that people with vegan are going to be low in B12, low in D3, low in omega-3 fatty acids, and all these different things. It's all well and good supplementing these. Great. If you are stressed and you're supplementing with these, chances are you may not be getting the right supplementation side of things. And we need to work on those underlying stress levels in order to allow your body to function properly. For example, B12, we need to be able to methylate that, take it from inactive, methylate it, and make it methylcobalamin into active for our body to be able to utilize this. Now, we get B12, like really good forms of B12 from good quality animal sources, good quality meat. So we're not going to get that from the vegan side of things. So supplementing that, if your body isn't in this higher stress state, it will be able to switch these over and utilize them. Same things like folic acid, switching it into methylfolate and so on. Also, the fatty acid side of things. One of the problems we get when we get exogenous fatty acids is that it's not in a high enough quality to allow our brain to function effectively, very, very effectively. So we look at a little bit of brain function, but to really get optimal, as entrepreneurs want to do, then we need to make sure we have good quality fatty acids in order to lower stress in our body and lower inflammation in our brain to stop that overwhelm, stop that brain fog, and stop it to feel like you're just staring at a screen when you know you should be working. So we need to get very good quality levels of something called DHA, which is one of the fatty acids. And there's not many sources. There are some good sources, but not many really, really great sources of that which are plant-based. So if I actually have a client who comes to me who wants to follow a vegan diet, I will do the best I can, but I honestly have to advise them that if they are a highly stressed individual, and this goes the same for the carnivore as well. In fact, I would probably take on a vegan before the carnivore diet. That's holding my hands up and being completely honest there. But if we want to get the results that we say we really want to get, then we need to look a little bit deeper as what is going on. So if you are stressed, very stressed, you're pushing to be this high performer, and you are wanting to try one of these diets, chances are you are going to make your health worse. So if you have poor blood glucose management, how do we know that? Well, you're not sleeping through the night. You're going to bed, chances are you might not even be getting 4 hours sleep, which is another conversation in itself, but you're going to bed and waking up every 2-3 hours. So once, twice, 3 times during the night, you wake up to go to the toilet. The problem there is that people see this as normal. Now, it is very, very common. I would say 9 out of 10 clients that I work with do not sleep through the night, and they see it as common, as normal. Just because something is common does not mean it's normal. Your body should be able to sleep through the night. You should be able to also wake up feeling recharged and energized. So if you're also waking up between the hours of 3 and 5 a.m., really wired, having too high cortisol levels, then chances are these diets are not going to be great for you. If you're waking up with low energy, or you get very high levels of cravings throughout the day, if you miss a meal, you then get very, very hangry. And you also have struggles with weight loss. So you've tried these things that people are saying. Eat less, move more. Simple. Calories in versus calories out. That simple mathematical equation should work. But if your body is too stressed, then you need to look at that stress levels first. If your body's overly stressed and we cause more stress by being in a high calorie deficit, it's fighting fire with fire. We know that is not a good outcome. And looking at the things that you may want to be doing. Now, you know my backstory. If you've followed my videos, that seeing what stress done to my dad, it killed him at 47. My dad went into hospital, constant sufferer of migraines, very high driven individual, providing for his family, went into hospital with a migraine. So on the Monday, he went into hospital. The Wednesday, he had a stroke. The Saturday, he was dead. And essentially, stress killed him. You looked at him from the outside, he wasn't overweight. Stress is the thing we need to look at. Stress is the true epidemic here around the world that is going on nowadays. And we are getting more and more stressed by the day. So going into these crazy, crazy diets is not necessarily going to be a good thing. It can make it worse rather than having something totally sustainable. You know, I always say your body is your business. Without a sustainable body, you have not got a sustainable or scalable business. And it's something I'm truly uh, I'm very attached to make sure with my story that other kids are not going through what I went through as a 15-year-old, losing their 47-year-old parent because of stress. So if you are looking at these diets and you're thinking, I really need to improve my health, so chances are you've seen a lot of marketing that you want to improve your health. Think about what is also the sustainability to these diets. How can I actually implement them at home? So one of the things I work with clients is that yes, you may be looking at certain protocols that you need to focus on for your health, but how real is it to focus on that when you've got kids and a wife or a husband that you're going to be eating dinner with? We need to build that into the plan. What is the sustainability? What is your current health status? What are your goals? If your goal is to simply push through and say you're doing a certain diet, but you're going to add more stress, then great. Do these diets, do these things that attach a name tag to you. If your goal is to improve your health, show it better for your family, sleep through the night, and allow you to really develop and scale your health, to scale your business and scale your relationships, focus on the things I spoke about in this video. Drop me a message. Let's talk further in order to allow you to really take hold of your health and become that high performer, because you've probably been on Clubhouse saying you're a high performer. Not saying you're a high performer. There's too many people saying they're a high performer on Clubhouse that could definitely benefit from this advice. Just simply drop me a message, honestly, and let's chat. Have a great day.